Here's the highlights now. Race number 15 of our championship on a gorgeous day in Darwin. Clear sky, more than 30 degrees. Track temperature was just over 46 when we started racing with a southeasterly breeze, pretty blustery. And reasonably clean run through the first turn, reasonably so on the opening lap. But plenty of hip and shoulder as people started to get into different strategies. Now, it was interesting because they decided not to be held up at Shell V-Power Racing for Scott McLaughlin. They tried to stay clear of everybody. There was some tremendous exchanges between McLaughlin and Rick Kelly in the Castrol Nissan Altima, particularly that one coming out of turn one. David Reynolds, they ran him longer. Once everybody else had flinched, they were kind of boxed in from a strategic standpoint, so they stayed out longer. That meant that all of this block of cars cleared him, so it was Kelly, Whincup, and Gisbergen, and then all the work had to start after this. Now, this was Kelly and Whincup down at turn 5, and Rick ran wide on the dusty stuff down there, and that was to the disadvantage of Jamie Whincup. But that block of cars, well, we held our breath when we saw all that going on because that could have ended in catastrophe, but such are the professionals that they managed it beautifully. Great extra tyre performance and grip being shown by Shane Van Gisbergen and also by David Reynolds. They applied it well and they gradually untangled themselves from these cars. Then Shane set off on the task of narrowing down the margin to Scott McLaughlin, which he did a very nice job of doing. He got all the way down to being able to stare at the rear wing of that car. When they got to the checkered flag, it was only 0.4245 of a second between McLaughlin and Shane Van Gisbergen. So tremendous pressure motor racing from both the Kiwis, nothing in it. Little variances in their cars, and the throw from first to third was only 1.2 seconds back to David Reynolds. That was an important victory for Scott McLaughlin. He's opened up his championship lead, adds another victory in 2018, and we do it all again tomorrow with 200 Ks of supercar racing. We're looking forward to that one in Darwin.